As Laura stepped out of the motel room, the last strands of sunlight faded beyond the horizon, painting the sky with a tired shade of gold. She drew her coat tightly around herself, a shiver coursing through her, not from the cold, but from the heavy mixture of guilt and exhaustion pressing on her chest. Her plan had seemed foolproof. Slip away from her husband, Mark, under the pretense of a work meeting, spend a few secret hours away, and return before dinner, as if nothing had happened. But the day had stretched longer than expected, and now all she wanted was to return unnoticed, unseen, unjudged. When she stepped into the motel parking lot, her heart nearly stopped. Her car was gone. The empty space where it should have been sent a chill of panic racing through her veins. She blinked hard, scanning the lot again and again, convincing herself she must have parked elsewhere. But after several frantic minutes, the truth struck her like lightning. Her car had been stolen. Her hands trembled as she fumbled for her phone and called the police, her voice practiced and calm, the tone of a wronged woman. Yet deep inside, dread whispered that this wasn't mere misfortune, it was consequence. Maybe fate was catching up faster than she'd expected. She hailed a taxi and sank into the back seat, the silence pressing in around her. Her thoughts twisted into knots. The lies she'd told, the false meeting, the careless text she'd sent to Mark. Don't wait up. I'll be late. Every word now felt heavier, like a stone on her conscience. But what frightened her most wasn't the stolen car. It was Mark. He was too observant, always noticing the smallest inconsistencies. And lately, he'd been distant, quieter than usual. Something in him had changed. When the taxi pulled up to the house, Laura noticed immediately that the porch lights were off. Mark never forgot to leave them on when she was coming home late. Her pulse quickened. She unlocked the door and stepped inside. The air felt cold and hollow, the silence thick and wrong. "Mark," she called softly, setting her purse on the kitchen counter. No answer. Only the low hum of the refrigerator broke the quiet. She walked down the hallway, unease prickling her skin. The picture frames that had lined the walls were missing. Even the wedding photo by the stairs was gone. A knot of fear tightened in her stomach as she rushed from room to room, searching. Closets stood half empty. His clothes, his watch, even his old leather jacket, all gone. It hit her like a tidal wave. He'd left. On the dining table sat an envelope with her name written on it in Mark's careful handwriting. Her fingers shook as she tore it open. Inside was her car key and a letter. She sank into a chair, heart pounding. The letter began simply. "Laura, I know everything. The motel. The other man. The lies you thought were hidden. You weren't as cautious as you believed. The GPS in your car told me where you were today. I had it towed while you were inside that room. Consider this my goodbye." Her eyes burned as tears welled up. She kept reading, his calm, measured handwriting slicing through her. "I didn't want to fight. I just needed you to understand I deserved honesty. Your car is at your mother's. Pick it up when you're ready to face her, or yourself." The paper slipped from her hands as sobs overtook her. The words hurt more than anger ever could. Mark hadn't shouted. He hadn't destroyed anything. He'd simply walked away, leaving her to face the wreckage she'd created. Desperate, she ran to their bedroom, hoping he might still be there. But the room was hollow, stripped of warmth. The closet door hung open, half bare. On his pillow lay his wedding ring, gleaming faintly in the dim light, a final, quiet farewell. Laura crumpled to her knees, clutching the ring as her cries filled the empty room. For the first time, she understood. Losing her car meant nothing compared to losing the man who had once loved her through every flaw and failing. She wandered into the living room, her tears blurring the familiar outlines of their shared life. Every corner held a ghost, every shadow whispered his absence. The house, once alive with laughter and love, now felt like a tomb. Hours later, she sat by the window, the letter trembling in her hands. She read it again and again, the words burning deeper each time. There was no hatred in them, only the quiet finality of a man who had set himself free. Outside, the world continued without her. Inside, Laura sat frozen, caught between regret and realization. Her car might wait safely at her mother's, but her peace, her marriage, and her future were gone, irrevocably. In the stillness of that night, she understood the cruelest truth of all. The greatest losses aren't of things, but of the trust we destroy ourselves. And no matter how far she ran, she could never escape the echo of her own betrayal.